finally get to fucking talk about fucking Gleaming the fucking Cube. Ah! So Gleaming the Cube. Gleaming the Cube is kind of a skateboard movie from the 80s, and saying it's a skateboard movie is kind of like shortchanging it, because really it's a revenge movie of epic proportions. Main character, Brian Kelly, played by Mr. fucking Christian fucking Slater, the coolest guy in the fucking 80s. I swear to God, like fucking pump up the volume, all that shit. Christian Slater is the man. With the help of the Bones Brigade to body double and like to give it some validity, it's just the character himself. He's a skateboarder. Christian Slater, his adopted brother, Vietnamese brother, is murdered, and basically Christian Slater has to use his detective skills and his skateboarding skills to basically solve and get revenge for his brother's death. The other awesome thing about the movie is that the characters are portrayed kind of realistically, and when I say realistically, the bad guys aren't 100% bad, for the fact that you kind of actually feel sorry for a lot of because it was all kind of a bad accident that happened to kill his brother. Like, it was just kind of like you felt kind of bad for the characters that were involved in this. I saw Gleaming the Cube at the right time, where basically the person you see before you, right, is an amalgam of the characters of Gleaming the Cube. Christian Slater and his Vietnamese brother. This is basically, if they had a fucking baby, this would be the fucking person right here in front of you.
Oh my God. Go through. Go through.
What's interesting about the vocabulary of skateboarders, even in the 80s, no one ever said Gleaming the Cube. Gleaming the Cube was thought up by some marketing genius, apparently, saying that, like, this is how skateboarders talk. And this is not how skateboarders talk. I've never heard anyone ever saying Gleaming the Cube. You know, it's just like, I'm not exactly even sure what it means, but from my understanding, from interviews and stuff, it kind of means like kind of being the best you can be. Now, what it got me to thinking about is the vocabulary that changes within time frames. And when I say time frames, I mean when you look back at the 70s, there's a grip of words that, or phrases that changes meaning, like the word groovy or keep on trucking. Like it kind of shows and reflects the time that it was meant to reflect. As we go on to the 90s, like saying something like, that's the bomb, or you know, she's all that in a bag of chips, which is very complimentary phrases, which kind of shows where the 90s, when phrases came to be that way. The words and phrases that we use, it becomes almost like our English is getting worse, and by that I mean we're shortening words. Instead of saying laughing out loud, we're saying lol. And sometimes we say lol, which doesn't make any sense, because it doesn't even mean laugh out loud. It's just like we're getting lazy in it. The #1 word for 2015 and 2014 going on is selfies. And that's a term in which you take a picture of yourself in front of shit, I guess, or a picture of yourself with friends, I guess. I'm not sure. But why I get to these is that these terms kind of reflect the time frame that we are in now. And in this case, Gleaming the Cube is not at all how people were talking back in the day. But the story is still universal. It's still, like, I think originally the movie was called A Brother's Justice. But the funny thing is, if I came across a movie called A Brother's Justice, I probably wouldn't see it. I probably wouldn't watch it. I probably wouldn't even look at the box. But having such an odd title as Gleaming the Cube got me at the right time, at the right place, in the right mindset. Because I was like, what the fuck does Gleaming the Cube mean? I was always a skater. I mean, the earliest memories I could remember, I've always been a skater, so Gleaming the Cube is like, when I watched it, I was like, oh, is this what skateboarders are saying? Maybe I should watch this movie. And that's shit I think about. Gleaming the Cube is one of my favorite movies of all time, so yeah.
There we go.